Crent, have you had a power bill this month?
I have. $23.30.
For the month?
For the month.
So that's month one of having a Tasmanian safer solar system on your roof.
Spot on. Down from about 300 this time of year.
So you've saved about $280 for the month.
Spot on.
Wowee. Do you reckon maybe our listeners would like a saving like that?
You're mad if you don't. They've got to call up now.
They do. So they go to the link in our bio and use code Baron to let them know that we sent you, and they're going to do you a cracking deal. That's Tasmania Safer Solar.
3, 2, 1.
Righto, and welcome back to the Baron Files podcast. Crent.
Knife.
How are you, mate?
Good, thank you. Swell.
Swell?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
no, pretty good weekend. Another one in the book. And it's Monday night at the moment, so in about 12 minutes it'll be Friday.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels. It goes so quick now. Life
absolutely ridiculous.
in general just goes so quick.
We talk about it all the time, but it's fucking madness, isn't it? Yeah. How was your week, mate?
So I've actually had a fair bit on. So obviously I went to Melbourne. Well, we haven't spoken this week at all. Well, last week, have we?
No, we haven't had any dialogue.
No. So I went to Melbourne
We have.
on Monday.
Yep.
And I reached out to the company that's making my peanut butter.
Right.
Which is very exciting. I actually have, for the people that are...
How convenient, there was just one sitting there.
The valued listeners that are actually watching the podcast will actually be able to see the great one on...
Is that actual peanut butter in there?
That is peanut butter in there. That is actually peanut
butter. Surely we
butter
can give it a try, can we?
I don't have a spoon. I'm not letting you dig your dirty fingers in there.
Yeah, look at the shit.
But you are most welcome to before we leave.
Well, when you went for a piss, I actually just licked the heap out.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I thought that'd be a bit better than my finger.
Yeah, so looking forward to the release of that. It's not quite ready yet.
Whoa.
It's more website stuff now that we've got to sort of get up. It'll be on the Monkey Nuts website eventually.
The advertising.
Yeah, so very, very excited about that. So I went over there to Melbourne for a night to go and view that.
Did you?
Then come home and straight back into work, straight into 1 a.m. starts. Oh, that was a stinker. But then on Saturday, took the young fella over to soccer. To his soccer match. And,
Yep.
We got there and, look, the first half was terribly officiated.
You're one of the people that walks in and just kicks over that sign that says, these are kids and
there
it's just
was
only for fun.
Zero control. Brent Petterwood had the whistle in his hand.
Shit show.
Very good friend of the podcast, and he's no doubt listening, but it was terribly officiated. Like, I was like, literally towards the end of the half there, I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to tuck right into some umpire abuse in the second half.
Yep.
But I think he sort of got wind that things weren't going great, and he came over to me and said, hey, can you umpire the last half? I've got to take my oldest son somewhere. And I thought, that would probably be best.
For everyone
involved if you left. And I just and look, to be honest, I took over.
Yep.
And I took control straight away. And I think like
iron fist sort of stuff.
It was tough love, a bit of tough love. I had to call the young fella on a handball at one stage. I took great delight in giving a free kick against him.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think like the parents, the coaches, the players, they were all much happier with the way that it was officiated. Officiated during the second half. I was actually chaired off.
By how many people? 11?
There was a few of them, but there was a small guard of honour of about 300, 400 people to get me off the ground, and it was just I think cheered. People were very happy.
More than fair. Yeah.
I think people, no doubt, people will be going out in droves with Baron signs. Next week, let's bring Baron back. Yeah. Big whistle, big picture of a whistle.
Possibly the kids were just shit scared. Could also be a factor of this large man with a beard.
And one of the friendliest human beings on earth.
That is correct, yeah. One of the funniest thing is, though, you were hell-bent on hurling abuse the second half. Yeah. I know full well that you don't even know the fucking rules of soccer. So, you have got no idea whether they were right or wrong to start with. And you would have just went, it would have been funny though. I'm sure Per would have took it well.
Well, he would have. Look, had I have had to say anything to him, I'm sure he would have taken it well and taken my advice on board. But no, there was no need for that. He chose to go on his own free will, which I think, as I said before, I think that was better for everyone.
I reckon he was pushed. I reckon a few parents sort of
there might have been something.
The Baron's here. Yeah. Maybe it's best for everyone if we just I think
so.
A few whispers. But actually, I had a similar thing umpiring on the weekend. Auskick, obviously, which I love doing. I love being there with my son. It's awesome. But like there was a few kids. I reckon I called a couple of kids for like hold the ball a few times.
Oh, yeah.
And they were genuinely giving me daggers. And I just wanted to say, you can't run 15 metres with the ball, not bouncing, kicking, or handballing it, and then getting wrapped up, and then just dropping it. Or throwing it. It's sort of going to be a free kick eventually.
They get very nervous when they're about to get... Are you allowed to tackle?
Stand-up wrap tackles.
Yeah, right. So in Alfie's age group, there's no tackling.
Yeah,
it's just bumping.
Yeah. It's just hip and shoulders.
Hip and shoulders, but there's still tackling.
Yeah.
They just go, you can't tackle, and then it's a free kick, and they're like, well.
I think to the letter of the law at this age, they're not meant to, but our theory, we had a meeting about it, and my theory is, under 10s, why not let them do that and learn how to do it while they're still not strong enough to hurt someone.
Exactly.
So, but it works okay. No one gets too hurt. So.
Yeah, they're not going to be picking people up and dumping them on their head.
No, I didn't do a few kids, but...
Mate, that was one of my signature moves. But it was allowed back then.
The dump truck.
Yeah, and I do it on days when it's parents versus children. Crent. Parents versus children games, I definitely dump them.
Very serious. Actually, some of the mums took the Mother's Day one we had it very seriously.
Did they?
I was pumped.
Good,
it was awesome.
Good. My wife will not participate.
At all? She wouldn't go out there?
No.
Even for the young
Nope. Absolutely not. Like abuses me.
Really?
Yeah. There was a time I said, babe, I've hurt my ankle. I can't play the parents' game. Can you please go out there and play with it? Nope. I'm not even going up there now. Babe, you have to. Just go out there and walk around with him.
See, that surprises me. Exactly, that's what most do. That surprised me, though. Given that your wife... with her recent criminal behaviour is known to police, that she is prepared to go and be the senior sergeant of the fun police.
Yes, exactly.
So she's just crossing bridges there.
And Crent, might I just, seeing as though you've brought that up, she's been given another speeding infringement in the last week as well.
When will this behaviour stop?
She is going on an absolute fucking crime spree.
It's a crime spree.
She is. I am living with a criminal.
Repeat. A recidivist, as Sam Newman would say.
She's a repeat offender of the same thing. She clocked 7 kilometres over the legal limit in a 100 zone.
Oh, no.
$120 fine.
Oh, no, I've got something to tell you.
For 7 kilometres over.
Is that what it was?
$120 fine.
Fuck.
Yeah, good.
Wow.
But next she'll be handing me a fucking yellow envelope full of contraband asking me to take it on an international flight. Crent.
Just get real nervous if she starts to dig a bit of bunker under the house. And then these, and then she's unloading all this stuff she stole from the kids' school, like all these beakers and Bunsen burners. Think, it's a bit of a gateway. Isn't it?
I don't want to go into the cupboard and open and see a heap of gold bars. She's a jeweller, so she can actually melt that down.
Oh, that's true. She would know. Actually,
she can.
You're not even aware, but that alludes to something a little bit later in the episode.
Oh, does it? Yeah. Right. Okay.
Actually, that makes me want to really tell a story. Yeah, I'm not going to use any names.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with some friends recently. And one of them is a really, really nice guy. He's the most polite person I know. And the conversation about drugs came up, the illegal variety.
Yes.
And the guys were all exchanging what they'd tried and what they'd done or whatever. And my mate goes, no. He goes, I've never touched any drugs. He goes, it's just not for me. I've never touched any of it. And they said, what, really never smoked joint? No, none of that. And then he goes, no, I done acid once. I said, mate, you've skipped everything in between. Just gone straight to fucking acid. It was almost like sitting there with someone saying, no, not much of a beer drinker. I smoke a little bit of crystal meth.
Yeah.
But no, the alcohol's not for me. Fuck, it was funny.
Oh, fuck.
Straight to the acid. So, no names, of course, but that just lit me up. I could not continue. Skipped all the gateways, just went straight to the fucking finish line.
Straight to the finish line, took the gold cup and went home.
And went on his merry way.
Yeah. Dominated drugs and then that was it.
If people stop seeing me, you'll notice that my stool's stuffed. And I mentioned this to the Baron. He goes, no, that was mine. I swapped them.
Yeah, that's going to annoy the fuck out of you. I used to sit in that seat and all of a sudden you just go, khadunk.
You're probably 5 to 10 kilos heavier than me too.
I'm just heavier
in that realm. I think that'd make a bit of a difference. But shit, what was we talking about before your wife's crime spree come up?
I can't remember. I think we were having a catch up. You said, wasn't it something about how she was 7 kilometres over the speed limit?
Oh yeah. So I got a speeding ticket in the mail while I was on holidays.
Oh, you too. I'm just living with criminals.
No, this gets better.
Just a known associate.
But there was 2 envelopes on the same day. So I got done going to Ulverston and coming home from Ulverston.
Oh, no.
But quite consistent. 50 zone. On the way there, I was doing 57. On the way home, I was doing 58.
Yeah, right. So what was your how much?
I don't know because it's a work car. It's just address. I've got to do the stat deck. Which I probably should do. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you want to get that done?
So twice in an hour. So it's twice in 20 minutes.
Actually, I have to remind Megan to go and pay her crime.
I'd say I am not facilitating. You're not going to be paying her.
If
problems.
the police come knocking, asking for you, I'm going to tell them exactly where you are. And you were not with me at the time of crime.
And I'll point out everything you've done.
I will not be your alibi.
Known jaywalker. It just does not stop.
Often rides push bike without a helmet.
Oh, yeah, like only out of the garage, but still. Speaking of that, the Steed hasn't been utilised.
No, it has not been utilised.
It hasn't been moved. So is it for sale, I'm assuming?
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet. That's as close.
We are getting very close. Actually, valued listener Carl Medwin has offered to come up to his house and ride on his. He's got a grass track there, maybe a couple of grass tracks.
Up at Stowey, or
I don't know exactly where it is. He'll. When I get in touch with him, he'll send me his address. I'm sure.
Yeah,
otherwise, I've just got to go and guess.
Drive around. That looks like it. Yeah. There's grass over there. Yeah. Perfect spot for a grass track.
Sir.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's actually getting worse. But just a standard run-of-the-mill week, mate. We're over the gastro, thank Christ.
Excellent.
We're done with the gastro.
Fantastic.
Hopefully we never see it ever again.
No, it's not a good thing, that.
No. Death.
Can I kick off? Or have you got?
Certainly.
So we had a video. Well, I posted a clip last week. We had a chat about Bonnie Blue.
Yep.
Being pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, the comments did not disappoint.
They never do. I might just slide in there. That turned out to be not true.
That was also a regular comment.
But we don't really care.
We don't really care. I think it was a fantastic story and worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read a couple of comments from that. So our clip was about Bonnie Blue's fanny being like a skydiver's mouth.
That was one of the comments from one of the patrons.
Yeah.
Not us. Neither of us are clever enough to think of that.
No, it wasn't ours. It was not ours. But there's a few more out there that have sort of made me laugh.
Yeah, right.
Not necessarily just about the fanny, but just, she's been filled more times than a canteen kettle. That was from Phil. Craig said rattled more times than a beggar's tin.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, mate, I haven't heard a lot of them. These ones were fucking great. Banged more times than a sorry, I'll start them again. Banged more times than a snooze button on a Monday morning. Banged more times than Stevie Wonder's thumb. Rogered more times than a policeman's radio. I'll try and get these up here in between us as I'm reading them.
They are sensational.
This one, a minge like an empty headlock. Oh, fuck. Been ran through more times than a marathon finish line. Well, that was funny, but it wasn't. It's not as good as the rest. Yeah. Now, and then like, there was 4 in a row. And I was like, yeah. Fanny like a yawning hippo.
That's big.
Yes. Fanny like a wizard's sleeve. That was one of my. That was the one. Oh fuck! I'll laugh at that one.
That's not bad.
Cocked more time than Dirty Harry's pistol.
I've heard John Wayne shotgun.
Yeah, that was another one that was down there. Had more pricks than a second-hand dartboard. Oh, and that was just the Facebook ones. Then we moved on. This one was like, this one's talking about how they were going to try and find the father.
Oh, yeah.
And this one said it'd be like eating a can of baked beans and trying to find which one made you fart. Fanny like a vintage golf bag. Fanny like a punched lasagna. I'm telling you, like, this is like, these went, go and have a look at the comments yourself. They were great.
Vintage golf bag.
This one made me laugh. That kid would walk out in a top hat, swinging a cane, and not even touch the fucking sides. That was fantastic. But I tell you, like the best comment that came through, I was having a bit of a bad day, and I went back to the comments, right, just to have a bit of a laugh. And we got one from Davey Marr on our Instagram.
Yep.
And it said, "This is the most underrated podcast on the planet right now." So thank you very much for that, Davey Marr. Much appreciated. You did make my day.
We're both going to hell, but we're giving people a bit of a laugh.
Yeah. But no, some of those comments, mate, had me in fucking stitches. It was,
Them first few were absolutely brilliant.
Oh, they were absolutely fucking amazing. The wizard sleeve was one of my favourites.
I reckon the first two were crackers. I can't remember them now, but they had me fucking
filled more times than a canteen kettle.
That's not
fucking hell.
How do I think of this shit? So again, we don't talk about our talents much because we have very little, but we're both known to be pretty witty at times. But I think I couldn't come up with that shit.
I couldn't come up with any of those. They were so good, absolutely brilliant. If you've ever got a comment, anything like that, doesn't even have to be about a fanny.
No,
it can be about any of those.
Have to be.
What are they called? Like an Australian? Are they an idiom, or they're not necessarily Australian?
Euphemism, or what do you say?
But if you come up with anything, just go and comment on one of our videos about it, and then
we'll see it.
Eventually find it. Yeah, we don't get many comments, so
we get a lot of reactions.
Yeah,
but a lot of tags.
Yeah,
a lot of tag people
and
shit. As in, look at these two fuckwits.
But these guys, how have these guys got a podcast?
Why do they can afford the camera? I've sort of been wifed a bit in the last week, Nate.
Oh no!
So,
well, hang on.
Oh, you're not going to remember, are you?
I'm not. Am I? Is it?
I'm saying bottom. Well, yeah, it's an early.
What a fan! No, that's a fan.
That would be fan.
I think it's on the other page.
Oh, right.
Let's go across.
He was organised.
Oh, it's this one.
It is. Clever.
You did a job, thought you'd done right, but in she comes, and now you've been wise. Hey, yeah, now you've been wise.
We'll have to get that singer back in one day.
Yeah, talent. Yeah, talent.
Brilliant.
It's a bit traumatic, this one, but I got two. So anyway, first one is, I turned up here the other day, and my phone was reasonably flat. And I thought, well, that's fucked because it's 7 o'clock in the morning and I just took it off the phone charger.
That was the podcast last week. Yeah. Sorry, yes. I remember this. We had to sit your phone on charger for a while.
And I then noticed that once again, the PowerPoint next to my bed, where I always put had been turned off. Against my wishes. I reckon we've been having this argument for 13 fucking years and it's still happening. So I'm actually going to put a note above it that just says, turning this PowerPoint off will result in divorce.
Yes.
That is just, I'm at that point.
Honestly, because it matters nay if you don't turn it off. If you leave it on, nothing happens.
Now, we are not rich, but I think I can afford the extra 4 cents a month to fucking cover that.
And now that you
PowerPoint.
have solar, Crent.
That's right. It costs bugger all.
From Tasmanian solar.
Every time I just look at it, I think, I'm going to go off my fucking tree here. And someone would think it would be a stupid thing to get crappy about.
Yeah.
But it's not, because I've asked 1,000 fucking times.
It's one of those things
for it to remain on.
To not happen.
Don't touch it.
There's numerous things in my house. So my wife, I like to put things on the bench where I know they are.
Yes.
Right? And then I'll come home and that will be moved. And I'll go, well, where's that gone? And Meg won't be here. So then I'll ring and she doesn't answer her phone. She has her phone on silent 9 times out of 10.
I'm not sure my wife has a phone.
No, I know. What's the point in paying the fucking phone bill if you're not going to answer the fucking thing? And so I'm running around the house like a fucking moron trying to find things, and I can't find anything because she's moved it.
Yeah, for the sake of it.
Well, and I finally get hold of it. Where is it, Megan? Oh, what's where it belongs? And it belongs where I fucking put it.
That's where it
belongs because that's where I put it. So I knew where it was. They just don't listen.
No, they do not. Yeah, and I'm at pains to admit I probably wouldn't say I'm perfect. I think I'm happy. It's a bit of a stretch, I know.
That's a big call.
But I can acknowledge fault at times. I just think, okay, I'm sorry if I do, but fucking don't touch it.
Yes.
But that is not even as bad. It gets worse.
Oh, no.
So I'm not sure if I mentioned on the pod before. I probably said to you, there's 2 things in my life that I have for me that the kids aren't allowed to fucking break, paint, fucking lick,
or touch, or
utilise. Yeah. And that is my headphones.
Yep.
And my Cracker Barrel cheese. Those are my belongings.
I share all the food in my house with my family.
No, my wife does mine a little bit of Cracker Barrel, but 90% is mine. It's mine. Anyway, so I got it out the other day. I was going to have a couple of little sly bickies and cheese. And I get it out, and it's just mutilated. It's on an angle of fucking 72 degrees, and it looks like a rat's been chewing on it for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I knew straight away that once again she'd just been grating cheese straight from the block.
Well, you can't do that.
You don't fucking do that.
Cut it off.
Cut a section.
Grate it all. Then you can grate the whole fucking thing.
Exactly. Yes.
And if you don't use it all, that's okay.
That's exactly right.
You can just leave it on a plate, put a bit of Glad wrap over it.
Yeah.
Put it in the fridge. It's fine.
But I've never had spare cheese. I just eat it.
Yeah, same.
Straight in the gullet.
It's not very often I don't run out of cheese.
And I just thought, I've asked so many times for this not to take place.
Yes.
So I'm going to get real serious. I'm going to buy some sort of, I'm probably going to have to invent first some sort of locking mechanism for a block of cheese.
Yep.
That I can just lock it up in the
Well, you can put it in a container because Cracker Barrel cheese is quite thin. It's not.
It's hard. It's a block.
No, but it's not. But it's thin though, isn't it?
Oh, it's not.
So you easily find a container.
Yeah,
that
that's
could
true.
fit in.
And I could just put a padlock on that.
And then you could mate.
I should do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I would
because
be.
this is beginning beyond it. It's actually affecting my mental health.
Yes.
And as soon as you say that card, you get a bit of fucking...
You get a little bit
of sympathy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fucking hell. Wanted to talk about this snoozer. I reckon he's a ripper. Bloke named Oliver quit his job at a tyre company and liquidated his retirement savings to set sail for Hawaii with his cat Phoenix. He reached his destination Saturday, welcomed by cheering fans at the end of a week-long journey that he documented for his masses of followers on social media.
So he's got a big following on social media.
Yeah, he got a big following on social media. He's quite young, so I don't know he's got retirement savings. But yeah, Oliver Widger, who also was greeted by the Hawaii governor at the yacht club when he arrived.
That's not bad.
Acknowledged he was nervous facing the crowd, which included reporters. He said he was feeling very weird, not seasick, but I feel like I have to hold on to things to not fall over. Because he wasn't actually a very experienced sailor.
Hang on, did he do it himself?
He sailed there, him and his cat Phoenix.
Oh, so he wasn't on.
No.
He sailed.
He became an online sensation with his story, which followed a diagnosis 4 years ago with a syndrome that carried a risk of paralysis and made him realise he disliked his managerial job. He quit it with no money, no plan and debt, and the goal of buying a sailboat and sailing around the world.
I'll tell you what, fucking hats off to you, mate.
Oh, it's a fucking
You've had a crack. You know I love having a crack at things.
Yeah, it's your thing, isn't it?
And that is having a real... That's something I couldn't do. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Gets even better. He must be pretty talented. He taught himself to sail mostly via YouTube.
Fuck.
And moved to the Oregon coast. He spent months refitting the boat he bought. And he wrote, then his quote was at the yacht club when he got there, I think a lot of people are grinding at their job all day and long, and it doesn't really matter how much money you make at this point. Everyone's just trying to do enough to get by, and that just wears you out. Just the world's in a weird place, and I think people have seen it's possible to break out.
I agree.
Good on you, Oliver.
Fantastic, Oliver. So take something from that, listeners.
I think the world would stop if everyone done that.
I'm not saying quit your job.
He plays yourself.
Yeah.
Saying that with his social media following, he's probably going to make more money than you ever fucking did.
Possibly, yeah. But I mean, I've got a reasonable sized social media following, and I'm not making enough to retire.
No, I was thinking, I reckon you are the most world famous social media personality that still works shift work.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You would be very close.
I'm one of the worst at making money out of it. Yeah.
Funny as fuck. Yeah. No talent at accounting.
Zero talent. Yeah.
This is a good one. I actually marvel at this. Pregnant news anchor stays on air during labour.
Oh, I saw this.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I was actually doing a bit of research.
For the pod?
Yeah,
right.
And I came up with nothing.
Oh, thanks.
But I did see this one, and I was going to come back to it, and yeah, but you've got it, so it doesn't matter.
If I disappear, that's what's going on, was the quote. So
yeah,
local news anchor Olivia Jacquith went ahead with a 3-hour morning newscast even after her labour contractions began and her water had broken, keeping viewers updated about the coming birth of her first child.
That's fantastic. So is it first child?
First child.
Wow.
So to be that calm. But there was a method to her madness.
If it was her 9th child, I'd be like, yeah, cool.
No, well,
right, she's done it.
Just walk out with an umbrella.
Like, yeah.
She just said, I'm happy to be here and I'll stay on the desk for as long as I possibly can. But if I disappear, that's what's going on. She had the option of going home, of course, from her employer, but she told them that she decided to pass the time at her job rather than nervously waiting around sitting at a hospital. So, makes sense. If you're comfortable enough to continue.
Because sometimes they don't even let you come into the hospital unless you dilate. I don't know. You've had 4 of them.
Yeah, I didn't ever inspect it though.
Yeah, okay. No, but I think you got to be at a certain point.
Dilation.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to be. Yeah, our lady just said, I'll stay home. And then when we rang her and said, oh, this has happened, she's like, okay, come in now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fucking full on. Having the entire morning team alongside me cracking jokes helped me get through contractions much easier, she said in the text the newspaper.
Could you imagine that? She's reading out something really important. Yeah. Is that what they sound like?
Oh, well, they moan and scream.
No, my wife didn't do that. She had the epidural.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or she did. The old criminal. Yeah, she'd be used to that shit running through her veins, wouldn't she? Why don't she take her ice pipe in with her?
Pharmaceuticals.
Imagine that just sitting there with it. Did you ever suck on the gas? I did.
I had one go on it when before Alfie was.
Yeah, I had a go. I had a couple of times.
I had a light and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
But I couldn't get it out of her mouth.
Yeah, no.
That's where I think that's where she got hooked.
That's where it all started. The life of crime.
She was there at one stage.
I'd be a fucking great druggie. As you know, I've got the veins of a champion. Some of the greatest set of veins the world's ever seen.
And I'd faint.
Not good at anything else. Yeah, fucking hell. The birth of her baby boy Quincy was announced Thursday.
Was it on the screen?
No, I don't think she had the child on screen. So
that would have been quite...
fingers crossed.
That would have been quite, yeah.
Actually, speaking of known to police, my wife rang me on Saturday morning. She goes, there's a parking ticket on your windscreen. Oh. I said, oh, yeah? So, well, it wasn't there last night and you're in my car. She goes, nah. Oh, fuck. She uses the app, but done it against her rego and not mine. She was in my car. I was like, oh, shit. I said, in fairness, I've done that before, but I've realised and changed it.
Honestly, you should be able to go into them and say, look, this is what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd hope so. I said, just send them an email. But it's the council, so we'll probably get a $4,000 fine.
Yeah. And they'll probably fine you for having to read your email that you write.
Get an administration fee. This one's fucking pretty impressive. A jury on Thursday convicted a woman who snuck onto a flight from New York to Paris without a boarding pass by slipping past security and airline gate agents at John F. Kennedy International Airport last year.
That is impressive.
Mate, you fart in line at the airport and they're fucking... How bitchy are the people that work in the...
Shock.
Painful. You just say, fuck, mate. Don't be rude about it.
Yeah.
Don't be an arsehole.
They are so rude.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You feel like you're being interrogated. I mean, I suppose you should do either. No, you shouldn't have to feel like you're interrogated, but the way they look at you and the way they talk to you.
And they speak to you, yeah. Like, there was a woman there last time and I was like, fuck, people must abuse you. Like, you are a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, again, there's no reason in any facet of life to ever be an arsehole.
No.
For the sake of it.
No, not for the sake of it.
No.
Yeah. If I had come in and I was rude or something like that and you wanted to be an arsehole, go right ahead. But I haven't been. I've said, how you going? Oh, righto, you're just an arsehole.
Oh, righto, you're just a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous now that a lot of people that have played sport against me are probably going to write in.
Well, once you cross that white line, that is a different story.
The short trial concluded with a guilty finding on a stowaway charge by jurors in federal court in Brooklyn. So the surveillance video shows her going through with a group of passengers. So they're all sort of scanned their boarding pass. She sort of huddles at the back and there's like 5 or 6 all go through at once. So I've always wondered that. I'm like, geez, I don't think they're actually paying that much fucking attention to how many people are going through. It says to how many people are scanning their pass, you know what I mean?
Possibly.
Like
but
onto the jet thing.
The thing is though, going onto the jet. The amount of times, because I've flown a lot.
Yeah.
In my time.
More than most.
And I would say quite often the plane's full. Like there's no spare seats.
She hid out in the toilet for a long time claiming she was unwell. So, and then they wised up and they called security and she was arrested. When she got off the plane, they sent her straight back to the US.
Oh, that's a stinker. Where was she going to? France, you say?
France, yeah.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't be that keen on going there.
I haven't heard great things about France.
I've been there, and it wasn't amazing. The first time I ever had peanut butter ice cream was in Paris.
Yeah, okay. So it changed your life.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only good thing that I did in Paris.
No, a lot of people have said that. It's a bit overrated. Yeah.
Disneyland.
Did you go to the Louvre?
I was at Disneyland. I saw the Louvre.
Yep.
But we chose to do the what was the big arch?
Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, that thing. We went and looked at that.
Yeah.
It was so amazing that I even remember what it was called.
Yeah, so we've been through this sightseeing, not really our thing.
The thing is, like, we had a day in Paris, and Paris is fucking huge.
Yeah, okay.
It's really big, really dirty.
The city itself.
Yeah, really stinky.
I've heard that.
Yeah, people are quite rude.
Yep.
And it's just really congested, so it's hard to get places. And even their underground's it's a lot more difficult than
like archaic, old and stuff.
It's a lot more difficult than London's.
Yeah, okay.
London's is really easy to navigate, I found.
Yeah, okay.
But the Paris one, I think it was Paris, was probably a bit harder. But yeah, look, anyway, we didn't have time to get to everything we wanted to go and see. We had the choice. I think we were choosing between Mona Lisa, the Louvre, or that Arc thing, and we thought that's the easiest to send. Let's go and do that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I just had a thought too. Maybe you should send some of your peanut butter to your mate Gordon Ramsay.
Well, Gordon, he's probably tried to contact me on TikTok. I haven't checked
several
my
times.
Messages yet, but I'll have to go through and have a look at those. But
you'll have to unblock him.
Yeah, it has got too much.
I love this one. So I don't love this one. So I just want to make it clear, I'm not taking the piss out of the issue here. I understand it's very serious, but it's the second part of this story that we're going to
Yeah, we like the funny bits of it.
So,
hang on, I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to go on the record and say that I like this. I'm just going to wait and see.
I'd hold off.
Yeah.
So a teacher has been charged and suspended without pay after being arrested at a school over allegations she had sex with a teenage student. Detectives arrested the 30-year-old woman at a school in southwest Sydney after investigating reports a 17-year-old boy has been sexually touched by a teacher. She faced Liverpool local court on Wednesday where she was granted conditional bail after being held in custody overnight. So that's a horrible thing. I think, kids, you just don't go there. It's a shocking part of society. But one of the comments on there from a bloke called Kane, it tickled me fancy a little bit. So he's written, I had sex with my English teacher when I was in school. I told my dad when I got home. He was so proud he offered to buy me a bike as a congratulations present. But I asked him if I could have a football instead because my ass was killing me.
That joke is as old as the fucking hills.
I had never heard
Have you never heard that? Oh, come on, mate. That's as old as the hills.
Never heard that.
So I will retract my previous comment. I've heard that a million
Not
times.
all for it.
I mean, that's humorous. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no, I had never heard it, so I thought it was quite good.
So are we with these? I mean, with this, right? As the 17-year-old boy, was he upset about having sex with his teacher, or
Well,
they don't go into that part of it, do they?
You sort of think 17-year-old boy, I don't.
Well, I know what I would have been thinking at 17, mate.
Yeah, that's
I'd have
right.
been tapping.
Wow. It's hard to say. People are fragile these days and they are different. But yeah, looking back, like 17 you can drive in Australia. You're in college. Like the
only thing you can't drink, you can't vote.
I'm pretty sure. I thought 17 was the age of consent, but I'd say it's because she was in a position of power.
Sorry, yes, 16. 16-year-olds can have sex with 16 and 17-year-olds.
Yeah,
but they can't have sex with 18-year-olds.
No, I thought it was 3 years. You can't.
Well, whatever it is, like, but there's the Romeo and Juliet rule. Like, if you were together when you were 16 and then one turns 18, it's still okay.
That's going to be a bit hard to happen though.
Why?
If you're together at 16 and then one turns 18.
So if the girl was 16, the guy was 17.
Yep.
Then he turns 18.
Really?
That's still okay. That's what I mean. Yeah, I mean,
it's a bit odd.
Yeah, I don't know the rules because I don't have 16 and 17 year old
I'm pretty
kids.
sure
I'm sure I'm going to figure them out at some stage.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure 17 is the age of consent though, but I would say because she was his fucking teacher.
No, 17 is the age of consent. No, 16 is the age of consent in Tasmania.
Yeah, but I think 17.
There has to be with someone under the age of 18. It can't be. Yeah, you can't cross that line of adult to child.
I thought 17 was pretty much open slather. Was my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Saying that's 20 fucking years since I've been to school.
Yeah, so I don't know about that.
It could have changed, but yeah.
I'm sure
someone.
The comments will not disappoint on this.
I'm sure they'll light up. Yeah, I'm sure they'll light up.
See, actually, back to I just want to go back onto comments. Sorry. Do you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles fiasco. Somehow that has come back up into my
video life
notifications. Right, people are commenting on that video again.
Yep,
and it is an overwhelming amount of people from England saying it's not true. It fucking is.
We found it.
It is fucking true that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles used to be called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles in the UK, and I believe it was for 7 seasons.
And we heard the song.
Yes, we heard the song. I played the song.
Yeah.
Go back and find the video.
Played the episode.
Don't come at me without fucking doing your research.
I wonder do they dub them in England like so they have an English accent?
No. Well, they don't do that over here. They haven't got an Australian accent over here. They've still got an American accent.
English people are fucking weird though, but yeah.
I don't know. Look, I mean, hey, and I reckon now, because the beauty of it being a cartoon, it's sort of evergreen. They've just got to go back and change a couple of things so that it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again now.
Yeah.
But for the time, while it was on and while it was first aired in the UK, it was Hero Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Very true. I like this one. Man who tried to sell $6.4 million gold toilet stolen from English country house is spared jail. So he was sort of left fucking holding the... They basically offloaded this bloke, the blokes who stole it. But the incredible thing is... Why the fuck would you build a gold toilet? Why would you want to shit on gold?
Yes, exactly.
But the interesting thing is, the toilet was part of a satire type art installation. I can't get that word out.
Satire, as in
satirical.
Satirical
art installation. I'm not sure that's a fucking word.
Is that satirical? Is that sarcasm?
Like it's
fuck me, now you got me going. I
isn't
can't
it like
speak.
the plural of satire, isn't it? Like it's the...
Maybe.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Someone will write in.
By Italian conceptual conceptual artist Maurizio Catalan, whose work was made famous in 2024 of a banana duct taped to a wall.
Oh, that fucker!
That's this fuckwit.
So he's made it. So this is what he's done, right? Because he sold that for $5 million, didn't he?
6.2.
$6.2 million. He sold this banana
Duct tape
to a wall, or a white piece of fucking cardboard,
Yep.
or whatever it was. And then he's gone and made a gold toilet.
Solid gold toilet. Weighed 98 kilos. The value of the gold at the time was £2.8 million, and it was insured for £4.74 million.
Oh, so it was stolen. Do you reckon he collected?
It was stolen after as a toilet. He didn't steal it to.
Yeah, but hang on, no, it was insured.
Ah, well, it was actually.
So he paid $2.4 million for it, insured it for 4.8.
Yeah.
Gets stolen, Crent. Do you reckon he collected on his insurance?
Oh, fuck.
All right, this is. My wife would know about this because she's a criminal.
But, well, that's true. They've probably got a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
All the known criminals.
Yeah.
But I don't think he needs to. He sold the fucking banana duct tape to a wall for 6.2 mil. So
yeah, but then he spent 2.4 of that on a toilet.
Nah, the toilet was before.
Oh,
this
right.
happened previous. So
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, your timeline's a bit out. But, yeah. But that's about it for me, Nath.
Yeah, right.
Today.
Oh.
But we've got sport to come.
We've got sport to come. The boring bit. Now I'll sit here and fucking yawn like you did all that episode.
I only had 2 or 3.
You had 9.
I didn't have 9.
And the shortest one went for 7 seconds.
I can't believe you keeping track.
One point I watched it, I went,
a bit
I'll
tired
count this
today,
one
actually.
out. 1, 2, 3.
Bit
7
tired.
second
Couldn't
yawn.
go to sleep last night.
Oh, he
and
was
I'm getting
fucking
more and more
going.
tired because I've got to keep yanking this fucking stool up. Oh, hang on. No, I'm going.
Unbelievable.
Is this comfortable?
Yeah. Perfect. Fuck. I'm surrounded by morons.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
We done?
Yep.
Yeah. Righto! Thanks for listening to that atrocity. Thanks to Crent and his chair antics, yawning and carrying on. Not even sure what number episode that was. It might be number 62, I would say.
No idea.
Don't forget to go and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Go and watch all the full episodes on YouTube. That's where it's at. That is where it's at. You'll have more fun there than just listening to us. I'm sure, because you get to see my beautiful fucking face. Love you all. Goodbye.
It's improving all the time. Looking